What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I thought I'd make a quick one here, just kind of going over some of the things I have done to my 2022 Kawasaki ZX10R. I guess we'll start off with some of the things you guys were able to notice. As you guys can see, I have the race fit growler exhaust mounted on here. This is a 3/4 exhaust. I didn't bother going full just because, as some of you may know, the 2022 or Gen 6, I believe also some of the other older gens, come equipped with titanium headers. Here on the bike, you guys won't be able to see that. It's kind of a better shot there, but so kind of makes it something you don't have to do since that's already on there. So I guess essentially with the 3/4 titanium mounted up to the titanium headers here, you have a full titanium system. I know some people still go ahead and do the aftermarket headers just to get a little bit more I think it's mid-range or something like that, just because the width of the aftermarket headers are a little bit more than what we have stock here. I'll include a quick exhaust clip so you guys can hear this exhaust, but that's the exhaust there. I also have some GB Racing covers here, engine covers on the bike. I personally think these are better than having a traditional frame slider on the bike. As some of you may know, those are preferably for people who are starting out, who are afraid to maybe tip the bike over at low speeds or even at like stoplights or whatever. Kind of saves the bike from getting scratched up, but once you kind of start going faster or go to track days, it's a little bit more dangerous to have a traditional frame slider, because you could run into some frame bending issues or things of that nature. But you can also get some more lower profile frame sliders that can mitigate that from happening. But I personally prefer these GB Racing engine covers because they protect what's basically important when the bike goes down here. So you guys can see there's that side, and then we'll switch over to the other side here. Show you guys this side as well. GB Racing on there. And I also have the blue Samco Racing radiator hoses. Just make it look prettier, but they're also better quality silicone hoses than what's on the offered on OEM. And there's red, green, black, and I chose blue just because blue's kind of like their traditional color, and I thought it kind of would stick out a little more. I have a stock set up right now, chain and sprocket. I got a DID chain on here, the ZX10R. I'll put that up here. I don't really remember what it was, but it is a DID 525 pitch. Might be going over to a 520 here during the winter. Stock gearing, 17 front, 41 rear. I also might be messing with that over the winter, just to get a little bit more torque coming out of the corners. Stock gearing on these bikes, the ZX10R is pretty tall, so a lot of times it's nice to switch that up so you can get a little bit more power down low. Also got the Bonamici Racing chain adjusters here. These things are awesome. Make adjusting your chain a hell of a lot easier. All you have to do is loosen up the axle nut over here on this side. Take out the cotter pin here, and then you can make your adjustments a lot easier. If you guys are interested on a video on how that works, feel free to leave that in the comments, and I'll make a video kind of showing you how that works. Saves you a lot of time. Basically, there's just these little adjustment things here, and then obviously your measurement lines there, so you can make sure that it's even on both sides. And I got some Pirelli Diablo Super Corsas V4 SPs here. These things are awesome. Longevity is not very good, but they're pretty much the best you can get for grip. I got the I'm running the 255 ZR17. Normal or stock is the 190, but I'm going 200. Not really noticeable. I like it personally. I'm a bigger guy, so I just feel like this is a better setup for me. A little bit meatier, looks a little bit more aggressive, but I also just like the feel overall. I got some Womit Tech front fork sliders here. These things are great. I've gone down once before on the bike and took quite a bit of damage and saved my fork assembly here, so that's good. So this is my second set I've had, and like I said, I can personally go ahead and say that these things are great. Womit Tech front fork sliders. Took off the frame sliders just because I got the engine cover there, so I don't really need that. Got the Womit Tech matching rear spools here for going up on the stand, and these are a little bit beefier, so they also kind of protect your I'm having a brain fart. These protect your swing arm. So these Womit Tech rear spools are nice. They match the front, obviously for putting the bike up on a stand, but they also will protect your swing arm. Again, I've gone down on my on the left side and took a lot of impact and protected my swing arm from any damage there. So up here I have the Easy Grip tank grips. I've tried tank grips, I've tried Stomp, so I've tried all kind of like the major ones, and I have to say without a doubt these clear Easy Grips are the best ones by far. They're a little bit intense, and what I mean by that is over time they will kind of tear up your riding pants. I have the NBTs here, and I've had these for a while, and as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the grips do kind of tend to tear that up after a while, but they do work phenomenally well. They do say on the packaging that they will not tear racing leathers, so they're racing leather friendly. I do have a suit that I just got for next year. I've ridden it a few times with the suit on and used these with the suit, and I haven't noticed anything, but time will tell. Okay, next, just kind of moving up to the controls here. I have a Driven Racing front brake lever guard. Apart from this just looking nice, a lot of track days also require this before you go out there on the track. Very good quality, and I'll link all these things in the bio so you guys can see that. But kind of cool too, because if you get it on sport bike track gear, you can kind of customize an engraving on there for your number or whatever you want. I think it's just a number, so you can pick that. The Domino grips, the thin MotoGP ones, absolutely love these grips. Mine are getting a little bit torn up from wear and tear, but 20 bucks, can't ask for more. Good quality, thinner, so when you put on your gauntlet or your glove, it'll be a good feeling. We got the ASV levers. I like the traditional length, levers. I'm not a big fan of the shorties, but I have these here in red. And then I also have the TWM quick action, quick release gas cap. This thing's nice just for when you go fill up. Doesn't take much at all for you to put this back on and take it off if you're kind of in a hurry. Only downside is that anybody can come over here and twist this off and do some stupid shit, so just make sure you keep an eye on your bike if you get one of those. And apart from that, that's basically it as far as the exterior goes. Have some shock socks here on the bike, just kind of protects the outer fork tubes and stuff, and also the inner fork tube here kind of protects from rocks and stuff. This is all the way down just because when I installed it I accidentally pushed it down, so usually it sits right about there. But have those on there. Also very essential, I have a radiator guard. Recently went through a radiator, rock hit the radiator and had a little leak on there, so definitely recommend getting a front radiator guard. Your bike will run a bit hotter, but nothing too noticeable, especially if you're going highway speeds or anything like that. So, but if you do sit in traffic, the bike will run maybe 2 to 3 more degrees hotter than it usually does if you're sitting. So, one quick thing I wanted to talk about too, a lot of people tend to have some negative things to say about the stock steering damper. It is an electronic Öhlins one that comes from factory. Honestly, I've gone pretty fast on this motorcycle before. I haven't done any crazy track day, so I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, but I haven't had any crazy wobbles or anything like that. I think the stock unit does a pretty decent job for most people, but I do know a lot of people like to switch it out for the manual Öhlins one or even an aftermarket one, but I've just kept mine stock just because it does the job for me. And then next little mod, or just cool thing I have on here is can't really tell, but I put some yellow film on the front lights here to have that cool yellow light look. I do like that. I'm a fan of that, so I did install it on here. It's pretty cool at night. And then just to kind of wrap this video up, going over just some of the stuff you guys are obviously not able to see. Tune-wise, I have a two-wheel dyno works on here. I've made a video on them, comparing them to the other popular tuner, More Mafia, who I had flashed on here previously, and definitely can say I prefer two-wheel over More Mafia. If you want more info on that, go ahead and check out the video. I have a DNA air filter on here, and as far as engine modifications or performance modifications, that's basically it. I think over the winter time I might do some velocity stacks and probably call it good after that. But yeah, guys, that's my 2022 Kawasaki ZX10R and what I have done to it. Just some tasteful mods, nothing crazy. Oh, I guess lastly, I do have a tail tidy on here. I forgot the TST, I believe, is the people who made, or NRC, I'm sorry. I have the NRC tail tidy on here. So that's basically it, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. I'll respond to them. But that is my 2022 Kawasaki ZX10R. If you guys like the video, please feel free to subscribe and like. Appreciate you guys.